Mic check, mic check, mic. Mic check. Mic check. No, I'm good. Mi- Mic check, mic check, mic check.
got this right here too.
Angle this way just a little bit. Yep, we're good to go. All right.
Okay, so I'm not introducing anybody. Nope. Okay, good. I got all that.
Hello, how you doing? Good to see you. I'm doing all right. Doing all right.
First, we have a dad.
How are you?
COC.
Yeah.
How are you?
Very good, thank you.
It's a big day.
Major count, the Salvation Army.
Well, I'm not. Okay. Partnership as well.
Perfect. So
Ready to do this?
Yeah, I'm going to wait for Linda to have a little facilities break with the baby coming, so we're just going to wait for her to come.
Brandy's doing a lot of that these days as well.
Yep,
A lot of facility breaks.
so just give her a moment to come around.
I like this. This is very unionesque. No. The CIAA champ. That's what that is.
Hey, how are you? It's good to see you. All right. Let's do this. Can we stand right here?
Yep, that's perfect.
All right.
All right, good morning, everyone, and thank you so much for being here. I'm Tracy DeShazer. I serve as the Deputy Chief Administrative Officer for Human Services for the City of Richmond. In Human Services, we work diligently to support the whole person by connecting them to services and resources to move them from crisis to thriving. But what we know to be true in doing this work is that not everyone has the same starting point, nor do they have the same set of circumstances. Many of our residents that we serve, they may not have family or friends to fall back and rely on. They may have experienced a medical complication or emergency that took them away from work. They may struggle with the grips of substance abuse and mental illness, or perhaps they do have supports. Perhaps they are employed, but they struggle in finding affordable housing and making enough to fully support themselves. What we know to be true is that each individual we serve has a unique set of circumstances. And our consistent goal is to meet them where they are, as they are, and simply assist. That's why today, as we gather, we are thrilled to highlight our efforts to expand shelter capacity in the city of Richmond, both here at 1900 Chamberlain Avenue, where tomorrow, December 1st, we will open a 150-bed inclement weather shelter to support single adult men and women in partnership with the Salvation Army. And where tomorrow at 7 North 2nd Street, we will also open a 50-bed family shelter in partnership with Home Again. These efforts represent our consistent dedication to support all Richmond residents, but especially those experiencing one of our greatest hardships, and that is the hardship of being unsheltered. This work is made possible because of the steadfast leadership of many of our partners joined here today. Our partners again with Home Again and the Salvation Army, the Greater Richmond Continuum of Care, and members of council. This effort is also made possible because of the leadership of our city under the direction of Mayor Levar Stoney. And so it is now my pleasure to turn the podium over to him. Mayor Stoney.
Thank you, Tracy. Is this on? Can y'all? Is this on now? No? This on? It's on? Okay, I just want to make sure that y'all can hear me. I can project, trust me. First, y'all give another round of applause to Tracy DeShazer. And let's give a round of applause to the council members who are joining us today. Dr. Newbill, Councilwoman Robertson, Councilwoman Lynch, and Councilwoman Lambert as well. Give them a round of applause, y'all. I saw Sharon Ebert is with us today as well. She's the the Deputy Chief Administrative Officer for Planning and, there's a whole bunch of titles here. Economic and Community Development. Give her a round of applause as well. Folks, there are two things we need in order to thrive: a roof over our heads and food on the table. Yes, I know for those who've followed me for the last 7 years as mayor of the great city of Richmond, You've heard me say that probably 100 times. But I won't stop saying it. We all need a roof over our head and food on the table. That's important. It's significant in order for folks to thrive here in the city of Richmond. And today we are taking a giant step forward to help provide shelter to unsheltered individuals within our city limits. As I've said many times before, there is no lack of compassion from the city, but there's at times a lack of capacity. Today, we are expanding that capacity. Not only does today and the immense amount of work that Tracy, Steve Harms, the entire human services portfolio, the Salvation Army, Home Again, all that they've done, they've put in over the past, all the work they put in over the past several months illustrates our care, but our past investments also show our well-intended and collaborative efforts to combat an issue that at times can be seen as a moving target. During the first 2 years of my tenure, we saw a 25% decrease in the single-day count of single adults living in shelters and sleeping outdoors. More than 60% of the 2,100 homeless hotline callers who were within 3 days of losing their housing were able to be diverted to a safe alternative to entering an emergency shelter. And as we began to see a shift in need due to stagnant wages and a rise in evictions, we created the Eviction Diversion Program, the first of its kind in the Commonwealth of Virginia. Around this same time, the Department of Housing and Community Development and the Department of Social Services began crafting the city's strategic plan to end homelessness, 2020 to 2030, which was introduced by the City Council in January of 2020 and adopted by them that same April. In March of 2020, as you all know, a global health crisis emerged. And we were proactive in addressing how this would impact our residents needing shelter and how we might provide help to them. And at the beginning of the COVID-19 pandemic, the Greater Richmond Continuum of Care recognized that traditional congregate care alone could not meet the challenges faced by this health crisis. So in addition to the CDC-approved congregate shelter, we funded hotel stays around the city. And to further support our residents in need, at the beginning of 2021, we stood up the Homelessness Advisory Council, which consisted of community members and service providers. And during a period of high anxiety, stress systems, and also misinformation, this special advisory council assessed what, and if any, improvements needed to be made to provide pathways to housing stability. And now fast forward to today, throughout the past several years, we've adapted and evolved our efforts because we understand that a roof over your head is paramount to everyone's well-being. I and my administration stand firm in the belief that housing is a vaccine to poverty. And while shelter support is a temporary remedy for those in a crisis, it is an entry point to get people back on the path of stability, which is why I'm grateful. I'm grateful to be standing here with our partners, the Salvation Army, Home Again, and the Greater Richmond Continuum of Care, who work hard every day to support and assist those in our community who need safe and quality housing. And today, we celebrate something that has been a long time coming. The Salvation Army, which where we are currently today, will operate a 150-bed inclement weather shelter starting tomorrow, December 1st, 2023, through April 15th, 2024. We've allocated $1.4 million towards this effort, and this location will serve as a refuge for single, unsheltered individuals. A few minutes away, in Jackson Ward, Home Again will soon begin operating a year-round 50-bed emergency shelter for families at 7 North 2nd Street. Families with the most urgent needs will be admitted to this shelter as prioritized by the coordinated work of the Greater Richmond Continuum of Care. Once again, I'm grateful for this collaborative team and all the time, all the energy, and resources invested in this. Truly, blood, sweat, and tears. And unfortunately, a lot of tears. A lot of tears. And I want to be clear. None of this would have been possible without the advocacy and the work of Richmond City Council. Let me say that again. None of this would be possible without the advocacy and the work of Richmond City Council.
All right, thank you.
People send folks to City Council to represent them, to have their back. But there are many people in our community who lack a voice. They have a voice, but no one listens to them. There are countless members of this city council when people tried to silence their voices or tried to speak louder than those who had that voice, who stepped up in that chamber and have done the right thing. This is not about elections. This is not about accolades. This is not about recognitions. At the end of the day, this is about doing the right thing. All those accolades and recognitions and honors are the byproduct of doing the right thing. And I'm proud to stand with this partnership, whether in the nonprofit world or members of the city council who always want to do the right thing. So I want to thank you all for the partnership and support which has allowed these projects to move forward and help Richmonders most in need. Our vast investments into the unhoused population show our dedication to create a welcoming, supportive, and compassionate city. The city of Richmond is that capital of compassion, and we will continue to work each and every day to expand our capacity and also expand our hearts. Thank you, everyone. And now I'd like to bring Annette Cousins to the podium. Annette is the chairwoman of the board of the Greater Richmond Continuum of Care. Annette?
Good morning. Thank you, Mayor Stoney, for that introduction, and thank you for inviting me here to join you today. I do have the honor of serving as the chair of the board of the Greater Richmond Continuum of Care. The Continuum of Care is a coordinated regional network of 34 local homeless service providers supporting our neighbors experiencing homelessness. For over a decade, the organizations within the Continuum have worked collaboratively to reduce the crisis of homelessness in our region. Every day, the incredible staff and volunteers of these agencies serve more than 1,000 of our neighbors through year-round emergency shelter and housing programs. I'd like to thank all of those frontline staff, those who are here today, those who are working right now at facilities throughout the region, and those who are currently out on the sidewalks and in our parks doing street outreach. In the last 10 years, this network of providers has found permanent housing for more than 11,410 unique individuals in our community. Homeless service providers in the Greater Richmond Continuum of Care work together so we can say yes to helping as many people as possible. But the reality remains that we can't give someone a resource that we don't have. That is why I am so thankful to be here today. These new investments by the City of Richmond and our nonprofit partners will help all of us to do more together. While the inclement weather shelter will provide a critical short-term resource during the coming winter months, the addition of 100 year-round housing-focused emergency shelter beds will allow our network to serve over 800 additional individuals each year. When we expand resources strategically, we can get more people on the pathway to a permanent home. The best strategy to solve homelessness in our region is expanding resources for proven local programs like the ones you see here today, so that we can address both people's basic needs and create pathways to safe and stable housing for more of our neighbors. As we enter the holiday season, I am grateful to the many individuals and organizations who have made this expansion possible. Thank you to Mayor Stoney and members of City Council, both for allocating the funding needed and for raising the importance of this important issue. A special thank you to the staff members at the City of Richmond and to Homeward, who worked tirelessly to explore all options for expanding shelter resources. And finally, thank you to the Salvation Army and Home Again for saying yes to taking on additional work and being willing to serve our community. These new resources being announced today, coupled with the ongoing investments by our partners and other supporters, will help us to make sure that everyone in our community has a safe and stable place to call home. Thank you.
Yay.
Thank you so much, Mayor Stoney, for those remarks and really just reminding us of the significance of today's efforts. And thank you, Annette, for your continued partnership in these efforts. I would now like to take a moment to invite up Councilwoman Ann Francis Lambert, as well as Major Samuel Kim with the Salvation Army.
Thank you, Tracy. Good morning, everyone.
Morning.
Thank you all for being here today as we gather to celebrate a significant milestone in our community's commitment to compassion and resilience. Today marks the unveiling of a beacon of hope, a sanctuary in the face of adversity, the Salvation Army's Center of Hope, our new inclement weather shelter. In the spirit of unity and empathy, we have recognized the pressing need for a haven during challenging weather conditions. My council colleagues and I have been asking, Mayor, what is the plan? After 9 months of being in limbo, the administration has brought us to this point, the Center of Hope. This inclement weather shelter stands as a testament to our shared values and our dedication to ensuring the well-being of every member of our community. As we stand here today, I'm filled with pride and gratitude for the collective effort that has brought us to this vision to life. I grew up right around the corner on Tazewell on Graham Road, and to represent my community reinforces my purpose in life. This facility will be more than just a shelter. It's a symbol of compassion and a testament to our commitment to leaving no one behind. In times of inclement weather, the Center of Hope will open its doors to provide warmth, safety, and a welcoming environment for those in need. It represents a collaborative effort between government agencies, community organizations, and compassionate individuals who believe in the power of solidarity. I have stated before, in order for this to work, it is going to take making this location an entry point for those in need and including the Housing Resource Center. The Housing Resource Center will serve as a hub for resources, supportive services, and a network of caring individuals ready to make a positive impact. In times of crisis, the Salvation Army knows how to extend a helping hand, and the Center of Hope exemplifies our shared commitment to that duty. As we embark on this journey together, let us remember that the true strength of our community lies in our ability to come together in times of need. The Center of Hope is a tangible manifestation of that strength, a space where compassion and dignity and resilience converge to create a brighter future for us all. We had a meeting last night with the businesses that surround this location, and I am proof to say that we hear your concerns. We have had an informative meeting and to address a lot of concerns that occurred last year at this location. I extend my heartfelt thanks to everyone who has played a role in bringing the Center of Hope to fruition. Together, let us continue to foster a community where hope knows no bounds and where, even in the midst of the inclement weather, the warmth of human kindness prevails. Thank you so much for being here, and thank you.
I was informed I have 1 minute or so I may shush my mouth very soon. Anyway, well, I would like to say thank you so very much to the city and Mayor Stoney and Councilwoman Lambert to make this shelter happen this winter. Well, when I come to my work every morning, I see one unsheltered man on the same spot every morning. Even yesterday morning, it was very cold, and he had only 2 blankets, and he was just folding his blanket. I felt very sorry every morning. Even I felt guiltiness every morning because I couldn't do many things for the man. But now, I'm so very grateful and happy to come and approach him that I can say, hey, sir, you can come to our shelter here at Chamberlain Avenue. So we can provide the safe place and with the meal every day, so you can come. Well, this is really a great opportunity to work together with the city of Richmond to open the shelter, especially 150 beds. Wow, it is really great. It is really wonderful. Who are in need, like the man. And the Salvation Army try to do the most good all the time. No matter what happens, we approach and try to share our hands. So this is great ministry, great work to be all together with the city of Richmond and all partners together. Well, let's do this great work all together. Thank you so very much. God bless you.
Thank you so much. Councilwoman Lambert, I think, said several very important things that I want to make sure we just take a moment to reiterate. She mentioned our efforts to stand up a resource center, and we are very thrilled as we continue to work towards that effort, but we recognize that the needs of our residents expand beyond just housing, beyond just employment. They also need support medically. Many may have severe mental illnesses, and so we are doing everything that we can to, again, wrap around that whole person as we continue to work towards beyond today's inclement weather shelter where we're located right now, beyond our family shelter, and as we continue to pursue our resource center. And then Major Kim, thank you for taking the time to just remind us of our neighbors that we are serving. As many of you all may know, that for the past several weeks we have been operating out of 730 East Broad Street as well. That is how we've been supporting residents until we were able to stand up this inclement weather shelter here at 1900 Chamberlain Avenue. Over the past 6 weeks, we've seen many of the same clients, those clients coming to us and saying, I'm doing better now because I'm home. I'm doing better now because I know that you all are here to serve and support us, and I know that when I say I need to connect to a service or a resource, that you are there and you are going to help. And so I think it's important that as we continue to work towards these efforts and wrapping around and supporting our unsheltered residents, that we remember again that many come from different circumstances and everyone's experience is unique. And the experiences of our families are equally unique. And so that's why at this moment I would like to invite up Councilwoman Robertson as well as Mandy Herbert with Home Again to speak to the importance of our family shelter as well.
Thank you very much. I'm grateful to have the opportunity to be here on such a special occasion. I want to thank our partners. We could not make this happen without you all being a partner in the effort. And I want to thank all of the staff of the city administration, Mayor Stoney, my colleagues on City Council, and the continued deliberate intentional work that has been done to address the need to provide housing for everyone in the city of Richmond. Shelters are a great place to have when there's absolutely no housing available for persons, but our mission as a city is to provide housing. And when it comes to families, I am grateful that we have partners, we have community, we have businesses, we have people with heart and compassion that consider all people having a acceptable, welcoming place in the city of Richmond to call their home. And for the families, this is extremely important. I question whether or not many of the persons who come here as singles for the inclement weather are not also members of families that indicate to us the expanded need that we need to move individuals from a shelter that is only for individuals to a shelter that provides opportunities for their whole family, but to the continuation, Mr. Mayor, and we are grateful for the $50 million that we have in the budget for the first time in the city of Richmond for affordable housing. The continuum of providing that care and that housing from each level that we need it is what's going to make a difference in whether or not the city of Richmond continues to face the level of crisis of homelessness. And so I'm confident. One of the things that I had a conversation the other day with one of the staff persons that really was the most encouraging. And she said, we can fix this problem. We can eliminate this homelessness in the city of Richmond. I believe that. And I know my colleagues believe that. And our work is never finished until that is done. But we are grateful for the partnership and the willingness of the community to embrace and be a part of this, as well as our partners. This is a great day in Richmond, and tomorrow is going to be an even greater day.
Hear, hear.
Thank you very much.
Well, thank you, Council Member Robertson, all of the City Council, Mayor Stoney, for your dedication to this effort. It is greatly appreciated, and we value all of your efforts. Home Again is honored to collaborate with the City of Richmond to address the pressing issue of homelessness by establishing another year-round family shelter at 7 North 2nd Street. Home Again has been in the Richmond community for over 40 years and is an active member of the Greater Richmond Continuum of Care. We recognize that homelessness is a complex issue that requires a multifaceted approach. A few challenges families face are the lack of affordable housing, prior debt and arrears, and mental and physical health barriers, just to name a few. The unique needs specific to serving this demographic include creating a congregate setting that fosters a vital sense of community, having knowledgeable staff that can manage social, personal dynamics, addressing mental health, and providing childcare so families can process and implement the planning necessary to achieve their stable housing goals. The family shelter at 7 North 2nd Street is an extension of Home Again's current family shelter located at 2 East Main Street, which we call the SB Family Shelter. Currently, that shelter houses up to 35 individuals daily. The added space within the new facility will allow Home Again to increase their capacity and provide access to services and resources to more families in need. In the past 3 years, Home Again has successfully helped over 460 individuals and 126 households within the SB Family Shelter. Of these families, over 90% have exited our shelter into stable housing. Each family that has found stable housing represents a life transformed, a child given a chance at a brighter future, and a community strengthened. As we move forward with this partnership, we will create a safe and welcoming environment for up to 50 individuals on a nightly basis. Through this effort, we, along with the City of Richmond, our dedicated partners, are reaffirming our commitment to compassion and social responsibility.
Thank you so much, Councilwoman Robertson and Mandy, for your remarks. We would now like to invite up Councilwoman Stephanie Lynch, who chairs the Education and Human Services Committee, who's been a staunch advocate for expanded shelter capacity. Councilwoman Lynch.
All right, Mama.
I'm waddling to the podium. First and foremost, I want to say thank you. I want to say thank you to the advocates. I want to say thank you to everyone who's not here with us today, who have endured traumas, who have endured the pain of what it's like to have to tell your children, I don't know where we're going to sleep tonight. I want to say thank you to those of you who worked in the shelter this winter before we got this wonderful beacon of hope stood up, who have spent tireless hours ensuring that for this winter, for these last several weeks, we've been a city of compassion that has a place for folks to go during this very, very, very cold weather that we're experiencing this season. I see our director from the Department of Social Services, Shonda Giles, here with us today. I see some of our community ambassadors represented, and of course, our deputy CAO, who has just been a godsend to this city, and the mayor's leadership, which has been no doubt something that has gotten us to this place. It would not be without the collaboration of all of those voices that collectively that brought us to this point today. The mayor was right. We are a capital of compassion, and we have proven that time and time again, not only looking back in our historic investments in affordable housing, in human services, but in sites like these. These are the monuments that we have chosen to erect during our last tenure as city leaders. And my preacher, a very good friend of mine, says, judge not your community and your elected leaders on their AAA bond rating, on the economic development projects that they bring in, on the fiscal health of your community. Judge your elected leaders on how they treat the least of these. And today God is smiling upon us. But our work is not done, and we know that. We know that this past Wednesday represented another 100 or so families that faced eviction and were on the eviction docket. We know that the tireless work of finding affordable housing for not only our families but our individuals in this city of Richmond and in the surrounding counties is a monumental and Herculean task. And there are folks today that are wondering, how am I going to pay my bills at the end of this month? How am I going to get Christmas gifts for my children? How am I going to feed my holiday table this season? And I want you to know, and we want you to know, we see you, we hear you, and our work is not over. We're really very, very proud of the fact that it took us 3 to 4 years to get a permanent year-round shelter, inclement weather shelter set up, and that we have come so far from the days of yesteryear where we had a shelter that was in question. Is it going to be open? Is it not going to be open? What location are we going to be at? Ladies and gentlemen, this will stand as the beacon of hope going forward for our unhoused citizens who are looking for a place during the inclement weather months and beyond. The Housing Resource Center, another wonderful solution that will bring together not only an access point, but wraparound case management services that we have been calling for so long. But we know our work is not over. Councilmember Robertson has been a tireless advocate and champion for affordable housing for her entire career. Let's throw some respect on her name. And with the support of Mayor Stoney, has been able to garner a huge and historic investment in affordable housing. But our work is not over. We will continue to strive to be a capital of compassion. We will continue to be the channel of your voices, the voices who often don't get a seat at the table. But we know that the hardest work is yet to come. And we appreciate you all for standing with us, for standing together and helping us get this across the finish line. It's a good day for the city of Richmond.
Thank you, Councilwoman Lynch, and thank you to all our partners. Folks, give them a round of applause one more time, a big round of applause. You know, in life, people tell you that timing is everything. And we can all agree that this is long overdue. But as we enter the holiday season, I think it's apropos that we exercise and demonstrate what compassion looks like. And it is my request of all residents of this great city to do the same. Model compassion in any which way you can. Giving someone an extra hug, providing a little help when someone's in need. I think it's necessary, as we know there's a lot going on in this world right now, that we ensure that everybody enjoys their holiday season in a safe way, in a place where they can lay their heads at night. And that's exactly what we're going to do here at the Center of Hope. That's what we're going to do here at North 7th Street, 2nd Street. And I'm just grateful for everyone who's pitched in, who's contributed to this effort. It will, ladies and gentlemen, go a very long way. Happy holidays, everyone. We're going to do a little tour. We're going to do a little tour in here.